And now for your weekly dose of metal. Here are your hosts, Morgan Danielle and Luco Blaze on The Metal Experience.
Woo! Is it good?
And we just heard some Birdie picks. We heard
Is it good?
Thera. We heard some Thera.
I'm still a big fan.
Good morning. My name is John. We
Good
heard
morning. My name is John.
Static X, Structural Defect,
Miss him.
and we heard some Danzig, Kiss the Skull.
Classic.
I don't know how classic that one is. It's not too
90s.
old, but regardless.
90s.
I am Luco Blaze with Morgan Danielle
20 years is classic.
sitting across from us, the ever beautiful That Guy Bill.
Hi, Bill.
Hi, Bill.
Hi, everybody.
Dave's on vacation
Dave's
this
on
week.
vacay this week, getting paid,
We-
paid vacation.
We heard his voice. We miss his presence.
Yeah, and we are here this week with Birdie, Garcia.
Yeah, we've got some great guests tonight that we'll be doing phone interviews with, which is what we do with Birdie. We have Andrew McHale from Serpents and Defiler, and then we have Dan, the drummer of Reaping Asmodea.
Asmodea. That's how you say that? Asmodea.
There's a lot of ways that they've
Yeah.
told us people pronounce, and I butcher every other time.
Asmodea.
So you can ask Dan that. You could be like,
the
pronounce his
Spanish
first
version.
properly, but then they'll
Yeah.
be like Asmodea, Asmadia, whatever, as long as you're
Whatever
listening to her
works,
music.
as long as you're listening to them.
Awesome people.
And actually, they just released a new CD somewhat recently.
They did.
Yeah,
Poison
back
the
in
Earth.
August, right?
And
Fucking
it's
awesome.
fucking. They have a sweet
Yeah.
music video for.
Yeah.
Bodies
one
and
of the-
barrels.
Yeah.
Oh man!
That was-
So good. We'll have to talk to him
First
about
time I saw it, I was like, "Whoa!"
it's probably one of the better unsigned produced videos I've ever seen.
That was great. I was actually at work watching it, and I'm like, is this safe? Am I going to get fired? with this?
Are these people going to come out of my computer? Well, what have you been up to since the last time we had you on, Birdie? I know that was back in
Wasn't too long ago.
September.
Was it September?
August?
It
Man,
was-
time flies.
It does. It was a while ago.
I've been polishing up on a lot of writing and some journalism. Still working on that big project I mentioned. Unfortunately, we had a kind of big setback, but it's still in process. And you are definitely going to see some writing more about the entertainment community, more about unsigned artists, underground, and also a lot about production and
Woo.
production quality. So all you tech audio nerds out there,
Birdie's
read
got
it.
you covered.
Yes. Yeah. Chirp.
And what did you think of last year's music scene? I know we're still fresh into 2015. Were there
Yeah.
some highlights for you last year, music-wise, that came out that ended the year off right for you?
Actually, I tend to look at the low lights at
Do tell.
all highlights because if the worst of the worst, and that's as bad as it is, does that make any sense? Then it's really not that bad of a year. But I just reminisce about people we've lost. We lost a great singer of Guar and also the Static X, which is why I picked some Static X. Structural Defect, I have to say, was the song that kind of brought me more into the heavy genre. Like, that was the first song I identified with. And when it comes to the local scene out here, it's, there's so much life in it. People who actually put their heart and souls in it, they give it all the way. Their chest might still be open when you go and see a show. That's like some of the best thing. That is the best thing about Chicago music to me. They say the scene's dead, and I guess it goes in waves. But you can't say a scene's dead when there's so many people who are out there going to
true.
shows,
We're
supporting
very much
it.
alive.
Yeah, the people who complain about it generally are the people who aren't going or
giving
I'm
up.
tired of seeing the same people. Well, why don't you get your face out of there?
Yeah.
And let other people enjoy themselves, because that's all BS.
No, absolutely.
What about you guys, though? What are some highlights from your year?
Highlights. Well, I just joined a band towards the
Yeah,
end of the
you
year.
didn't
Right?
do this a
What's
couple weeks
this?
ago.
I
Say-
just
say
joined a
what this
band,
is.
Return to Flush. It's pretty sick.
Now,
They've
what
been
do you
on our
do
radio
in
show.
Return to Flush?
I'm doing vocals right now, and it's pretty intense music.
What genre is this Return?
What genre would it be? It'd be
Deathcore?
I would say kind of like a deathcore-ish type of. It's just fucking brutal.
Promote yourself.
We
dude.
can-
You've got a
We
list.
got a couple of shows coming up. 2 in January, 2 in March. I'm pretty stoked. I just joined the band at the end of December, and they're like, "Hey, we got a show in a little less than a month, so you better be ready." It's like, oh my god, and I'm super stressing, trying to get everything down and write lyrics and everything for all these songs.
How often do you practice with your new band?
Once to twice a week so far, and then we'll probably up that moving forward. But I'm pretty stoked. We got a show at Gasthaus in Elgin on the 24th. That's on a Saturday of January. And then we got a show at Brower House on the 31st of January, and that's also a Saturday. So it should be pretty interesting. Then we got two shows in March. I do. And then we got two shows in March, which I'll speak about more of that later on in the show on weeks to come. But
are we going to hear any of your stuff today?
You want to hear?
It hasn't been recorded.
Well,
your vocals haven't been recorded.
My vocals haven't been recorded. I can, if you want, I could give you a little snippet of the music.
Ooh.
Of what I'm, the backing music. But here, January 24th with Blood Throne, Abysmal. There's no M in there. Is that how you spell Abyss? Pale Horseman, and I got one more to be announced. I think I got an old post on that. And then on the 31st at Brower House, it's
Atlanta's Burning.
Which I'm stoked about because we've never had a chance to see them, and they've been on the show. They're awesome.
Pterodactyl King,
local boys around from where we're from.
There's two.
And there's two more. I was looking at the flyer earlier today, and
I have it saved, I think.
I can't remember what they are.
Where is that flyer? I want to see this missing M.
The missing M. Oh.
Abysmal?
It is.
Oh, you know what? That might be
Inner Decay and Sable Beldam for
the Brower House show.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's we went to that's just me personally doing starting in a new band, but we went to a ton of shows last year. Met a ton of cool new people. Had a bunch of people we've had on the show before back on and stuff.
Yeah, don't torture yourself with that.
Had a what?
I'm just kidding.
Had a ball. We had some.
We did. Last year actually we hit an all-time high for shows. I think there were 38 shows total, signed and unsigned shows that we went to. I think maybe there was more, but I'm pretty sure I counted 30.
Which, if you think about it, it's not like you think like, oh, that's not too many. But then we're like, well, when you're going to work and you're doing a radio show and you just got tons of other stuff going on in your life and you're going to damn near 40 shows a year, it's
a lot.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
Sometimes we're going to shows like. One week, I think we went to a show like Thursday, Friday, and Saturday of the same week. I'm like, oh, my God. But you know what? They were fucking sweet, and I wouldn't change anything. We had a blast.
And we actually went to our first show 2015 this past weekend. We were at Penny Road Pub. We saw our friends from The Great Divide. They fucking killed it. They came home after doing a 2-week tour. Their first show back closer to home. They played with When Night Falls, which they'll be on our show in June, and then we also saw them play with Altered Perceptions, which they played really well despite having a couple of members not being there that night. They played a 3-piece and they killed it.
They were awesome.
Yeah, that whole lineup was sick. So we're looking very forward to setting an interview out with Altered Perceptions. But The Great Divide and When Night Falls, they were awesome, and yeah, it was a great way to start 2015 show-wise.
Well, if you want, we can play a minute and a half clip of the new band I joined, and then we can give
Return to Flash, and then while we're doing that, Bill can give Andrew from Serpents a call. We can get him on the line and get into doing a little bit of an interview with him.
Sounds fun.
Oh, you're gonna make me do work.
Oh man.
Oh yeah.
We love you. Well,
Welcome
here we go.
To the soundboard, Bill.
This one's called crazy titles too for stuff. But the band Return to Flesh, I just recently joined a song called Systematic Demolecularization. I'm probably pronouncing it like a stupid dummy, but here we go. Well, Morgan, while we're just chilling,
just some announcements going on in the scene here while we figure out the interview section. Central Disorders looking for a bass player, so they're actually playing a show that we put together February 28th, which is happening out at Bobby McGee's. And then Miles from Exile is looking for a new logo. So if you know an artist that can design a logo that they can use for promotional needs, definitely hit them up. And it looks like we can save the rest
Miles
because
from
Andrew's
Exile
on the line.
was just
I don't
recently
even
on.
care how loud I was because I need to get shit done.
You do that.
I don't
You
even
go,
care.
girl. Mm-hmm.
Hello? Hello?
Andrew?
Yep.
You're
Hi,
finally
Oh.
on
Andrew.
the line.
Finally! Gosh, we thought we
got
lost
ya.
you to the sandworms. What happened?
Oh no, you got shoddy ass T-Mobile phone service.
Oh,
It's
see,
okay,
So
been
it
there.
is technical difficulties.
Well, thank you so much for allowing us some of your time to do some interviewing of you.
No problem.
All right. Well, I'm so glad you're a chatty Cathy because it makes things a lot easier. So we have some bits of information from you, but we really want you to talk about everything that you've been in and what you've
Birdie
done.
printed Wikipedia, so
I
we're
love
just
Wiki.
stalking you right
Wiki.
now.
It's the easiest way, but yeah, and I'm on your Facebook page too.
And you can tell us what
Don't
Wikipedia
don't
posted that
unfriend me.
may be a lie. You know the celebrity rumors. They tend to make up stories. People edit your page, so you can tell us what's right and what's wrong.
Well, what's in question? What's Wikipedia?
I'm not
say?
questioning anything. What I'm going to do is
Are
just
you
ask
male?
you
Are
a
you
bunch,
female?
bunch of questions.
I'm kidding.
You know, that's all left to. Yeah, I'm not going anywhere near that question.
So tell us a little bit about Serpents to start with. This is what we really wanted to promote tonight was your band Serpents.
Because that's your most current project. Because you have several, correct?
I have two at the moment, and rehashing an old one, and then also another kind of like rock band in the works as well.
you
All
are
right,
a
you-
busy
Busy
man.
man.
You have to elaborate on that. So what's current and what's rehashed and what's going on? What's going on in Andrew's world?
I'm currently in the band Defiler as well as Serpents. Serpents has been my baby for a couple of years now, and it's mainly kind of boiled down to just me. And then Defiler I've been playing for in a couple of years as well. And and what I rehashed with a couple of my friends from back home, since I've been back home for a little bit now.
Where's back home?
Chicagoland.
Okay, so you're
So he's a
in the
native,
area
yeah.
now. Okay.
Yeah, I've been on tour off and on for the past I don't know how many years, and this has been my longest break home for a while. Just because Defiler has been busy on but on all different fronts, whether it's touring overseas or writing and recording or dealing with label stuff. So I've been home for a long time and ended up rehashing like my first band, like from like high school, and now
Was that not Defiler?
no, my high school band.
Yeah.
No. It was a band from the Chicago suburbs called Forsworn.
Fourthborn?
Forsworn?
Yeah.
Forsworn.
I've
There we
seen
go.
you guys live.
Huh?
I have a fucking Forsworn CD in my collection. I swear to God, that is hilarious.
Yeah. We're working
Who
on.
did you see him play with, Luco?
I saw them play with Angel Fire because that's how I was roading for them way back in the day, and that was at it was in like Wheaton, like
Yeah.
Rec
yeah,
Center or something.
sounds about familiar.
Oh man,
That's
small
funny.
Fucking
Small
world.
world.
I have a Forsworn CD. Yes, sweet.
There you go. His face just lit up. He
Yeah.
loved that.
He's been a Krabby Patty today, so
Yeah, I wasn't gonna say anything. Here we go. So now, anyway, so with Serpents being your baby and all that, so where do I
Where to
start?
Serpents has been around for how long, Andrew?
Serpents, I always say the birth of it became the death of my period in Oceano.
Oh, please, for the people who want to hear about that, I want to dig up all of this.
Oh my
I
goodness.
do.
What are you
This is
willing to tell
investigative.
without hurting people's
No,
feelings?
fuck that. What are you willing to tell? Like, as much as you can, because there's a lot of people that are upset about the Oceano split up. Because if my sources reveal themselves to be correct, it was voted one of the heaviest bands for a period, and then that split happened. So go on, tell us, give us a dirty.
Are you asking about why I left?
Well, why don't you just go ahead and say that you left, and then tell me why? Yes, that sounds good.
Basically, after touring nonstop after we did the album Depths, the pressure of the sophomore album came around from the label and from all the media and heavy metal news sites and whatnot, and after losing touring guitar players and doing all these tours and I had some family issues as well, stuff with divorce and moving and stuff like that, and it just came down to all of the things, all the negativity around us were starting to kind of affect our relationships as friends, let alone bandmates. And then with my sole involvement in writing the next record, which became Contagion, I basically kind of just lost it, and I couldn't do it anymore. We were rehearsing nonstop, writing, and just one day it just kind of clicked, and I was just finished.
Well, are you guys good to maybe pick up again someday?
They actually just, they're still a band right now. They're on their 4th record, I think, the final one, with Earache. Right now, me and Adam, who is the singer, we're kind of on a, good talking relationship. I've met their new drummer, Nick, Michael Casper, he's a friend of mine from back in the day. He's their guitar player right now. So who knows? God knows I have so much material lying around that not enough bands to put it in.
But you guys have kind of moved past that. It's been a few years that you guys are able to get along now and kind of move past that. I mean, you guys were really young when that first album came out.
Yeah, and there was a lot of internal stuff going on that I did not release to the media when I first quit.
Well, you shouldn't have to. I mean, it's still your personal life. It's not like Us Weekly and everything. This is heavy metal. You can be as secretive as you want to be and not be pride about it with paparazzi.
Well, if you look on the news sites now, it's all gossip and gossip.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And it's crazy because it's heavy metal TMZ. And back in the day, what is it, 2010 when I quit, I was just like, it's nobody's business but ours, that's what kind of like what Serpents is. It was kind of like my revisit to the old days, how everybody wasn't as accessible as they are now, and like a fan will tell a band, hey, you guys need more breakdowns, or hey, you guys need more, solos, and the band will listen. Whereas Serpents, like after leaving Oceano, I was like, this is my baby. This is how it's going to be. If nobody likes it, that's fine, And
you're proud of what you've put out. That's what matters.
And to kind of agree with you on that. When I was younger, listening to metal, and then the band that you love starts doing something different that you don't like, and you gotta think that this band has been playing these same songs for how long, and it's like they just want to try new stuff, and it's like it's good, it's bad, it's. You take the good with the bad. Not everything everyone writes is going to be awesome, and everything people write could be awesome. So it's like, I think people judge too fucking hard on metal bands, and I do feel you with the ton of pressure, type of shit adds up, and everyone, even though you're in a band, you still have a personal life. You have a life at home, and when people listen to that and fans, they think, oh, this is the sole thing that this human being does in their life, and it's kind of like. Dude, I got fucking I do a radio show, but I got fucking 8,000 other things going on in my regular life.
Right.
Whereas you're doing music and you probably got 8,000 fucking things going on in your life,
And every fan wants that attention, and every audience base needs to be catered to. It is rough. I have to agree too.
And these days, like I said, it's more accessible, so it's more, if you're not commenting or answering, it's like, oh, these guys are douchebags, or oh, these guys, they don't care, or so on and so forth. But, it came down to the point where I just, I had enough. And then I had the label, I had fans, everybody wanted Depths 2.0, and that's the exact words I got from the label. And still to this day, I still hear the phrase, "Oh, the new Oceano, sounds like Depths 2.0 or so and so." I'm like, why don't you just leave Depths 1.0 where it is and let them create something else?
Well,
why?
You know what is kind of cool about, people keep saying how awesome it was? It's like, that's because that album was fucking awesome. You guys wrote a fucking sweet album. So it's like, suck on this a one time. I don't know. I guess.
Yeah.
So what's going on with where are you with Serpents?
I'm currently in the middle of a new EP. It's getting really hard to continually release, record, release, and produce and everything. Your own albums, and monetarily, it's all out of my pocket. And all I do for a living is play music, and I'll produce bands, and also work gigs from time to time in the technician field. So like all this money that I dove into Serpents is my pocket, and it gets hard. And people, as soon as the album got out, on the last two albums, I mean, every download site you could find had my record, and then there's sometimes like tickers, like counters on how many times people have downloaded things, and the numbers blew me away. Like if I had those sales as much as those downloads, I would not have to work for.
Yeah, that's a rough reality too. Like, are you the sole member currently with Serpents? I mean, who do you hire when you want to play?
I like to say I'm the sole member, but I have a lot of help from friends. I know a lot of talented people who are good people, and if I ever needed anything, we could assemble and do stuff. But I've been so busy with Defiler and the.
You just put the serpent light in the sky and be like, "Serpents assemble," and everyone comes running.
Well, wasn't your situation similar to what Sully from Godsmack just went through with the new album there? Like, it was all him. It was all him putting it together, and the rest of the band just kind of came together to play it. Is that something you're necessarily? I know it's kind of what you're doing right now, but is that something you want to strive for, like an entire band that's just all you with some help?
I mean, we did that. I mean, Serpents has toured, with bands like Wretched, The Browning,
Nice.
that Starkill band, like we used to tour, and, I had guys that are willing, and it's hard when you get older, it's hard to find guys that are literally just like, I'm dropping everything in my life to play music.
Yeah, family, jobs,
Yeah.
reality hits, yeah.
And I understand that, and also there's a technicality thing with playing death metal, is that you have to find guys that can play death metal who are good guys, let alone available. I mean, I could sit here and name all the drummers that have moved from either trying out for Serpents or playing for Serpents that went on to like bigger death metal bands, and you know what? I'm not even mad at them.
Right.
That's crazy.
That's nice, though.
What's been a highlight for you playing with Serpents? Have you guys played a crazy venue? Did you guys play with a band that you've always wanted to play with?
Honestly, the biggest moment for me when Serpents was playing out is the first show we ever played, when I was in the basement in the green room of the venue. And it was right after we got off stage and scurried off stage with the track still running, And, it was like a piano track, like a solo, like an outro thing. And there was one moment where I just looked at all the guys and realized that was my, track playing to a room full of people, and they just heard, what I just did in my bedroom.
That's
and
awesome.
now it's, alive, and that was the coolest thing ever, as far as I'm concerned,
And your other band, Defiler, what are you guys doing right now?
We're battling our label.
Oh, please elaborate.
Yeah.
What's your? Is it Razor and Tie still?
No, we left Razor and Kai on mutual terms, and shortly thereafter we signed a undisclosed major deal with a major label, and it's been downhill ever since. You know?
Actually,
Yeah.
I think I did hear about that.
Nobody heard about that.
No, we have similar sources.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a small community. It's a small world, but so anyway, do you have any New Year's resolutions?
Oh my God, New Year's resolution.
Are you
I don't-
driving right now?
Am I driving? No way.
Oh,
We're next to the street.
I don't know.
The
Maybe I'm
cars
picking
are
it up on
going
Luco's
by.
mic. It sounds like you're speeding down the road. I'm like,
He wants to be here.
yeah.
New Year's resolutions would be to continue to not have New Year's resolutions.
That's nice.
There you
yeah.
go. There you go.
Nothing to have to worry about. Well, let's keep you on the line for a couple more minutes if you don't mind, but let's play one of the tracks that you want to hear. I know you picked two off of the two albums that you have, one from each. Is there one that you want to start with from your first album, or do you want to play the latest album first?
The March Toward Megiddo is off the latest album, Pestilence.
Okay.
That's,
Perfect. We'll play that song, and then just stay on the line for a couple more minutes, and we'll bring you back in after we play Serpent's track.
You
Cool.
do know it's a
Sounds good to
6-minute
me.
song, guys.
It's a 6-minute
Well-
song.
All right, pick up your phone, and we'll call you back so you don't have to wait 6 minutes. You can take a breather.
Or he can call us back,
Thank
too.
you.
That works as well.
Okay, how about this? I will call you back shortly here to see what we're going to do, so there's no more back and forth. Does that work,
Okay.
Andrew?
Yeah.
All right. Thanks so much.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right, let's do it. Some fucking serpents, baby.
Hit play, please.
You're listening to The Metal Experience.
We've assembled a collection of bands who have drummers.
I do magic.
Well, it's easy if you try, Dick.
Now sit back and listen.
Does woo woo, and we just heard some Serpents. Bill, we got Andrew back on the line.
Yes, you
Hello?
do.
Rock and
Hey,
roll. You are
Andrew.
back. What was that? What was that track we just heard?
The March Toward Megiddo.
There we go.
Woo!
The end of the world, as usual.
As usual. So, I really wanted to ask you got the Serpents going, you got the Defiler going. What is the writing process? How is it different between the two bands?
Well, Defiler is solely kind of written by the singer Jake, and Serpents is solely written by me. That's about it. And Jake kind of like writes stuff, and then he passes it on to me and the other guys, and we kind of throw our twist on.
2 cents.
Yeah, and we come together, and that's how songs are done.
How were the names chosen for the bands?
Serpents.
Both of them, yeah. Serpents and Defiler.
Well, Serpents at the time was kind of a statement to how I felt about the people around me, the music industry, just about life in general, and also with kind of like a biblical context, how, the serpent is also considered the devil, but also considered to people who appreciate the serpent's place in the Bible, as they consider him like an educator. And at the time, I felt like I had a lot to say, and I still do, but about the music industry and how I believe that, some things should be changed, and how, like we were talking about before, on how there is no, there's too much connection, with, there is no rock and roll, like, the rock star is dead, and, I wanted to kind of refresh things, because I think the digital age and everything kind of ruined the idea of the rock star, and I wanted to educate the world, so that's how that came about.
That's a good explanation.
No more David Lee Roth's rocking.
Yeah. No, it was more of like a kind of like a, there are no more Glenn Danzig. There are no more, you know what I mean? There are no more Dimebag Darrells. I mean, it's so saturated that
There's no more icons left.
Yes, there is no more icons, because everybody's tweeting, everybody's doing this, and there is no distance. Those guys were, when you'd see them, they'd come to town. You would go and see them, and even if you saw them walking into the venue, you'd get so excited, And I feel like in our scene, the heavier metal scene, that's dead, because everybody's so, or not really heavy metal, but deathcore, because that's mostly what I play, I guess. But
the best type of metal.
It just all kind of blends together. There's not really anything that stands out as much as it should anymore.
yeah, and I mean, granted, you have people like Dave Grohl, who are legit rock stars still
Oh yeah,
going.
absolutely.
But that's the thing. It's the heavy side of metal, the darker side of metal, is complaining about, oh, it's all going downhill. Everybody's down. I'm sitting here. I'm going, well, that's because you literally are just don't give the fans any sort of mystery. There's no,
Yeah. Here's my whole life.
Yeah, everybody's tweeting
I'm taking
dumb
a dump.
shit. You're right about that, because everybody wants to be a 50-minute star.
Yeah.
Who are some of your influences, Andrew, I know that you're doing multiple instruments in Serpents, but as a guitarist, as a vocalist, what got you into metal?
Oh boy. Well, I mean, my influences range from, as guitar players, from David Gilmour to anybody, like from
To anybody.
well, you know what I mean, like as far as like metal goes, like I love Nurgle from Behemoth's writing and stuff like that. I love like the shred tech stuff, like Justin from After the Burial and them, like I love all kinds of. I respect all kinds of music, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
But as far as Serpents, like main influences, so to speak, I would say the biggest influences, and it's no mystery, is Behemoth, and also I wanted to kind of incorporate the Behemoth kind of writing style with my sound from the Oceano days, and kind of breed something a little bit more, cool, more symphonic as well. Like I love Dimmu Borgir and Septic Sledge, stuff like that. I mean, and I'm. Don't get me wrong. I'm, naming some pretty popular bands, but it goes pretty deep when it comes to, that genre and what influences.
Well, their sound is still distinctive compared to, hardcore and deathcore. That's when it's Dimmu, when it's Behemoth.
Yeah, and I wanted to have my twist on it, the American version of that, because I feel like that hasn't been touched at the time of Serpent's, unveiling, so to speak. Blackened deathcore was not really a thing, and I kind of wanted to put my spin on it, and that's why I call it my baby, and it's something I'm proud of.
Absolutely. Are you guys playing any shows coming up that people can see you at, or are you just playing right now?
And where can the world find everything that is Serpents and Defiler? And I'm waiting for some new fucking Forsworn.
As you guys saw, I kind of run my own studio and like a little label that I release all the Serpent stuff on.
Yeah, what is your label called?
It's spelled TRVE, and then media. It's called True Media with a V as a U.
Which is on Serpent's Facebook page on your cover photo, right? The banner is that media at Bandcamp, right?
Yeah, truemedia.bandcamp.com. We're talking about Forsworn, the new Forsworn stuff, maybe being on there as well for you.
Nice.
Just for you, Luco.
As far as Defiler goes, the best way to find out about it is on the Facebook. That's all I can really say, because we have a lot of battling to do before this new stuff hits the light of day. But we're going to battle to the death, and that's something everybody can watch for.
Yeah, absolutely. And the new EP that you said you were working on was Serpents?
Yeah, Serpents. It's a EP called Nola Eres, and it basically means no masters, and it's kind of like influenced by the whole ordeal with ISIS and all this stuff, and the religious war, and
Oh, here you go, going political on me again.
Religious propaganda and all that bull honky.
yeah,
Careful with that term, honky. It's racist.
Get out.
Basically, it was brought by a thought I had where I am my own master, and that's what it came from. And a lot of the songs on this new EP are more of like another story, because Born of Ishtar and Pestilence were two coinciding stories, and this is the third installment where the narrator, who would be me, is the master of his own realm, where these gods and these old ancient relics have died out, and he doesn't listen to these words, so to speak.
Nice. And the album artwork that you have for your two albums already up on your Bandcamp that you can purchase, who did those for you? Or do you do your own artwork as well?
I come up with concepts, and I try and export locally to artists in the area, as opposed to going with the industry standard. A lot of my friends are ridiculously talented and who are industry standard. But I kind of wanted, again, to bring that DIY feel and the whole, hey, this is actually art and not just like some brand of music. So what I wanted to promote, again, with the whole, I'm trying to educate people is, hey, this is supposed to be art. So I'm going to commission local artists who I respect.
That's awesome.
Who are also a part of this vision because I'm a fan of theirs. I'm going to commission them to do the artwork. So the first one was done by my friend Naveed, who plays drums in For the Fallen Dreams right now.
Oh,
and,
nice.
and the other one was done by my friend Jamie Koala. She's a great fashion designer from around here. And the new one is up in the air, but it's going to be really, really cool.
And you guys, you for Serpents, you have still those bundles available that people can purchase? I saw some different pricing with some options as to what you get with those.
Yeah, the Born of a Star physical CDs are all sold out.
Damn it!
So I'm making more packages because I have all the merch and all the stuff at my house, and we're not touring anytime soon, so I'm trying to get rid of it as well.
And where are the links that people can find Defiler, and do you have a page for Forsworn as well still, or
do you have a
no.
MySpace for probably Forsworn? It was back then.
Oh, you're
No,
bringing
MySpace
some
is
Rabby
on.
Dave.
There's a pure volume still up,
Pure
a vault.
volume.
Yeah.
That's old school.
But no, there's not going to be a Facebook, I think, for Forsworn. It's going to be through True Media or something like that. We're talking about doing maybe a co-release with another label of one of the guys. And Defiler, you could find stuff on Facebook, or you can go in stores and pick up the last two records. Serpents, you can find on iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, on True Media,
Nice. Well, thank you for your time. Is there any other information that you want to share for fans before we play the last song that you wanted to hear from Serpents?
I'm dying.
Oh my goodness!
I hope that's a joke.
Technically I am. We all are. But
Yeah.
No,
Every
slowly,
day
yeah.
we get closer to death.
Well, we really hope that we get to meet you sometime, someplace.
Sometime
you
soon.
know, maybe at a show.
A fucking Forsworn
Maybe-
show.
Maybe seeing you play, that would be fucking awesome. But definitely keep us posted on the music that you release. We'll definitely keep sharing your link and posting updates about statuses for both bands so that we can continue to support you. And
Support the metal.
I definitely want to buy one of those bundles. So if you get those shirts, let me know, because I'm checking that out later this week when I get paid.
Yeah? Awesome. Let me know.
Yes, support the
Absolutely. Well, the last song that we're gonna hear, not for tonight, is another track from Serpents. And really quickly, how do you know Dan of Reaping as Medea?
How do I know him? I tried to steal him numerous times.
How did you meet
least
him in the
he's
first
honest.
place for him? I mean, they're from Minnesota. That's not
we,
too far, but
I think we played a couple, Oceano back in the day, or maybe it was Forsworn, I forgot. One of my old bands played with them either when they came to Chicago or in Minnesota. The whole Midwest metal thing is kind of a really tight-knit community, so
Absolutely is.
we always see each other from time to time and cast out the ones that are too good for everybody.
did you go see him when they played Cobra Lounge with Decapitated?
I was, he was, I was there and it was awesome. That was in
Well,
the pit.
they should be hitting another tour in April. Maybe we'll see you at the show, wherever they end up booking. I don't know if he'll reveal that information to me yet. But yes, definitely keep us posted. We'll ask him some questions about you too. So see if maybe he remembers how you two met. But what's the last track from Serpents that we're gonna play for tonight?
The Herald of Heresy.
The Herald.
I knew you were driving. I knew it. Ding.
And what album is that off of?
It's off of Born of Ishtar.
Sweet. Well, thank you so much, Angie, for your time. We really do appreciate it. And here is another track from Serpents. When we come back, Dan from Reaping Asmodea is going to be on the phone with us.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Interpretation Well, I expect that type of language at Denny's, but not here.
Well, that's too freaking bad. You hear me?
Because we're throwing it back to Morgan and Luco on the Metal Experience.
And we're back. I'm Morgan Danielle with Luco Blaze. That guy Bill is running sound for us tonight as
Rabbi
Dave took
Dave.
a vacation. And we're here with the very
Rabbi
lovely
Dave.
Birdie Garcia.
Funny. Unpaid vacation.
Unpaid vacation.
That poor bastard.
And we just finished up talking to Andrew McHale of Defiler and Serpents. So thank you, Andrew, for your time. We really do appreciate it. Of course,
And
Forsworn making a comeback soon.
And
Can't wait.
formerly Oceana.
Yes.
He does a lot.
Right now on the line, we have the pleasure of talking with Dan from Reaping Asmodea, which was actually one of the first bands that we had on our sponsored show, which was actually out at Mike's Love and Music, and it was Summit, and that was back in 2011. That was so long ago.
Wow.
Yeah, the first show we ever sponsored.
And they were from out of state.
It was pretty sweet.
And their demo blew us away, and their performance was like, holy shit, this is awesome. And I had their first long sleeve shirt. Hi, Dan.
Hey.
Had to give you a long intro. I'm sorry.
So that's all right.
I'm sorry. I know that you're sick. He said he was all congested, but you're all good. We can still hear you.
We can't tell the difference.
Good. Yeah. No, I'm just. Yeah. Hopefully, I'm not hacking in you guys' ears and everything.
Nah.
It's okay. You're good.
Nah.
We listen to brutal death metal. We've heard it before.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I suppose it'll work in my benefit then.
So you guys, not too long ago, a couple months ago, you got off tour with Decapitated and Misery Index. How was that?
Well, we were just actually we were on tour at that time, and that was just a one-off show with us. We actually did the show in Chicago was on that Decapitated and Misery Index tour, and then we did a couple dates with King 810, and then we did a string of dates by ourselves. But it was all really, really good mix of bands that we got to play with and everything. So yeah, it went really well.
You guys have played with a lot of people within the past couple years because you have been blowing up. What's next?
Right now, we have a couple tours that we're going to be announcing hopefully in the next week, actually.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
Coming through Chicago?
Please tell me you are.
I don't know if I don't think we are.
No.
I know we're gonna be doing like a date in Milwaukee, and I don't think there's gonna be a Chicago date on that. But
Well, depending on Milwaukee, it's possible. It's possible. Let us see.
Yeah, and yeah, I know we're playing a Milwaukee date, but unfortunately, I think we might be. Actually, you know what? I'm lying to you.
What? How dare you?
I'm totally lying to you. Because we are. It's not in Chicago, but it's right outside, and it's actually like it's one of those things where even though it's confirmed and stuff, I just don't want to say
no,
names
I
before it's announced.
I know.
And it's not, it sounds so stupid, like, oh, it's such a big deal, but, just in the respect of, the bands and the booking agents and everything.
Well, I can't wait. It's okay.
Yeah,
I'll wait, but I can't. My excitement is building. It's okay. You do this to me every single time you guys post.
At the end of March, we'll be out there just outside of Chicago.
Nice. Woo. So the album that you put out last year, let me tell you, it's fucking fantastic. I cannot stop listening to it. Poison the Earth. Poison the Earth was amazing. It took you guys a while to put out that CD, but I can see why. Tell us a little about the artwork on it. Like, there's this massive dude just whipping things around.
Sounds fun.
An amazing dude. His name's Eddie Danger. He's done a lot of stuff. He actually, it worked out where the concept that we were visualizing in our mind and we explained to him, he kind of ended up grasping exactly what we wanted. And he did a phenomenal job. I can't recommend him enough as far as any kind of visual work. If anyone's looking for anything, he's a very, very amazing person. So, as far as
it was kind of like we didn't want to have like obviously like the Reaper and everything is a part of like our name and stuff now, but we didn't want something that's so typical like a skeletal, you know, Reaper. Like we wanted it something more, a little more edgy and a little more evil, obviously, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of, you know, exactly like what it ended up being, I suppose.
Absolutely.
And what was his name one more time?
His name's Eddie Danger.
Eddie Danger?
Yeah, like he's done a ton of stuff, like all, like the Summer Slaughter stuff. I guess if you go back and you like kind of look at it, you can kind of tell it was him. But like the logo guys for Summer Slaughter and stuff, and he actually did. I know you guys just got the record at that last show because we had a couple left over that we found that with Dead Hands Rising record.
Yes.
Yeah.
He actually did that cover, and he had done like stuff for Veil of Maya and Born
That's
of
pretty
Osiris
awesome.
and a bunch of bands. He's worked with a bunch of bands. So
Now you guys also have this killer video out called Bodies and Barrels, which
Oh, my
was the main
goodness.
song off of Poison the Earth. And it was also back on that demo back in 2011 that we have. How the fuck did you do that? Like, that, seriously, I watched it. I was like, well, there's a bunch of dude in mud running around. But, I mean, it's crazy how...
High production value, too.
High production value. It's
When we saw that, we were like, we know those guys!
Yeah. It was insane.
you know, it luckily the same thing. Luckily, the production company and the director and the producer and all the guys involved were good friends of ours. And I had mentioned earlier in the year when we were like getting everything together, you know, for the record and, you know, to prepare to do the video and everything, how we wanted, it's so typical and it's so easy to do music videos nowadays where most of them look stupid. Like, you know, a lot of them are just a group playing in a room or, you know, somewhere with some lights and stuff. And not that anything we did was necessarily groundbreaking. Just the concept that I kind of envisioned, and luckily Elijah and all the guys at Pandemic, they ran with because they loved it. We knew that it would be something that would at least grab somebody's attention. You know, maybe not the most, like I said, obviously, like, some of the things that we did have been done before in some sense or another, but we knew that at least it was going to be different than a lot of other videos out there where it would grab people's attention. And
Well, just the way that it's edited is so very well put together. It looks, I mean, not to say other people's music videos, you know, don't look professional, but the quality and the way that it was made is flawless. Whereas, you know, some people, they hand make it, and you could tell with editing, you know, like, it's very well put together, but just the way that you guys had it framed and worked with your music so well.
We really fucking like your music video, dude.
Thank you. No, I mean, it's another one of those things where I can't recommend those guys enough. Their group is called Pandemic Pictures, and we have like a handful of things that we're actually doing. We're actually working on another video right now that hopefully will be out in the next few months here, because we have a couple videos that we plan on being out this year, and they're all going to be different. I don't want to
with the same people.
Yes, it's with the same group. So, and they've actually done like
with more people in mud running around, half naked people in mud.
It's gonna be. I mean, it's gonna stay different. I know one of them's gonna be, you know, there we had a lot of footage over the last 5-6 months that we shot from a lot of our shows and from touring and stuff, and I know that we're gonna do we want to do like a live kind of feel video as well as like the other stuff that we're gonna do. The video side, like other than the live shot stuff, it definitely will remain creative as possible.
What about a documentary with the next album?
Use puppets.
Do a DVD.
That's definitely something that Elijah and these guys have and I myself have talked about. Because like you said, just with how long it took us with all the the setbacks and everything, it took us to get that record out and everything. Most bands would have just given up, 2 years ago. So.
Well, I'm glad you guys didn't, because this was definitely worth the wait.
Thank you. Yeah.
What are some of your guys' influence? Because there's a few bands that you guys have played with that are on from hardcore to deathcore. I mean, you've played with quite a different array of band sounds.
Yeah, and I think even though most of our music is, it's pretty heavy, a lot of it's real fast. Definitely, we have a vast array of influence because as much as my taste in music has gotten heavier and heavier as I've gotten older, it's also broadened, and I think that's what makes anyone. It makes you a better musician being an open-minded person to music and art in general, where we're taking influence. We try to take influence from wherever we can, as much as we want to play heavy and fast. A lot of the time, it's definitely really all over the place. 'Cause even myself, I have a lot of background, and I got started on 80s metal and everything like that.
You answered my next question because you're a mind reader. I was going to ask you what influenced you to play drums as fast as you do.
What 80s metal bands?
Yeah.
Well, I got my aunt and uncle were the ones that got me into metal, and it was all like my first concert was in Van Malmsteen when I was like 13.
Nice.
So it was a lot of like
and you didn't
Halloween
get into guitar from that?
I did.
Even Halloween, that's a lot of epic.
Yeah, I did start playing guitar because I didn't get my own first 18, and it was kind of one of those things where I always kind of wanted to play drums, and then I finally was given an opportunity to finally sit behind a drum set when I was like 16 years old, and I don't know, I just wanted to hit things hard and play fast, and it just kind of went from there. And like I said, luckily, I feel fortunate for myself. Usually, you get older and you back off the heaviness of the music that you like to hear and want to play, and it was the complete opposite for me, where I got older and I wanted to play heavier and faster music.
Now, what are some of the highlights that you have had being on tour? Because there's been quite a lot of tours that you've done within the past year and a half. I think that just typically the biggest thing for me is that I've been fortunate enough to still be doing music as heavily as I am with a lot of people that are really close friends of mine, and that it's not, I enjoy the people's company that I'm around, and I think that's, for me personally, that's one of the biggest things that I can actually be gone for weeks on end with the people right now, and that I have been for a while. At least, even the guys, because when you guys saw us, obviously, we had Kyle filling in on bass, which he played with us the first 10 months that we were a band before Jacob came back into the picture. So, and Kyle's one of mine and Alex's best friends too. So it's just how that all worked out and everything. It's definitely, I'm just very, very fortunate to be able to do these things with people that I actually get along with, because the majority of bands, after a while, they just can't stand each other. They could break up after, yeah.
I mean, I have close friends of mine that, there's a lot of friends of mine that I know that are in bands that I still to this day cannot even believe that they're still in bands together, because they just fight and butt heads continuously. But I guess at least we know all of our quirks, and we can stand each other enough. So
what's been the coolest place that you have played on the road? Because you guys have only done the States, right? You haven't been overseas at all?
No. Hopefully we're gonna at least go to, or we're gonna be going to Canada and stuff. Hopefully this year.
Nice.
Didn't you guys go overseas, but not to play, just to
Yeah, that was
vacation?
actually me. Yeah, me and Alex and Kyle and one other buddy of ours. That was last year. We went to Europe, and we're actually planning on, hopefully in between all the touring we're planning on doing this year, that we're going to do another trip.
And you are so lucky you have jobs so you could just
I
walk
remember
away and take multiple
when we saw that,
vacations.
we're like, these motherfuckers are in touring Europe. You're like, no, we're just on
right,
vacation.
No, I wish.
But
Yeah.
has there been a place on the road that you really enjoyed playing? Something like a place that surprised you that was really awesome?
There's always a lot of places like that. I can say that last run that we were on when you guys saw us, we played on Monday night a couple days later in Akron, Ohio. And it's like, any touring band, it's like, okay, Monday night, we'd never played in Akron. And we're like, okay, it's a Monday night, this is still going to be just a total bust. It was, the people that owned the venue were awesome, the venue was cool, the show was awesome, the people, it was one of those things where it was a really, really pleasant surprise. Like, you never know how that stuff's going to work out. And it was an amazing show.
We would have seen you on a Tuesday night if you hadn't broken down when you were going to play with Suffocate.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I cried a little bit inside. I was like, no, why is this happening? I'm like, come on, guys. The one night that we got off on the radio show to see you, and now you're not even coming.
Yeah, we specifically were like, all right, we didn't schedule a band on because we were like, Morgan's like, we have to go see Reaping Asmodee. I'm like, all right, fuck yeah,
we
let's
had
do
the
it.
band drop. Then I was like, this is perfect. Reaping
that's
is,
why. And they're coming in town?
with Abiotic, and I was like, perfect. And then you're like,
And we just saw Abiotic then.
I was like, what?
Yep.
It's okay. I'm glad you guys are okay, though.
Yeah, it was one big fiasco, I'll tell you, that whole thing.
Yeah.
And we ended up making the next show the next day, but it was a huge back and forth deal and everything. But that's the uncertainty of transportation. You never know when mechanically something's gonna fail like that.
Well, let's play a
track. If you want to stay on the line for a couple minutes while we play it, I have your whole album here, and then I have that demo from 2011. If you want to play something from that old,
throw that thing out the window.
Hey, I like it. Okay, it's staying on here, and you can't tell me anything else to do with it. But what is the song that you want to play off of the album?
Why don't you play Indwelling?
Indwelling. All right. I'm going to play this, and then we'll come back on the line, and we'll discuss a few more things and play another track after that, and then you can take your NyQuil.
Excellent.
All right. Well, here is Indwelling, and I'm pushing play.
And now a word from D. Reitz of One Steel Wound.
Spoken poetry for the metal experience. Eat my cock, eat my cock. Don't spit on it, that ain't classy. Eat my cock, oh won't you eat my cock? No handies, let's get nasty. Eat my ass, stir it with your hands. Eat my ass, spread brown, take me to class. You're listening to the metal experience.
What a great intro that is.
Yeah.
Thanks, Dan. He'll be back on our show January 27th, One Steel Wound.
A great intro to come back.
Well, that was Indwelling by Reaping as Medea or Reaping as Madia. Which one do you prefer, Dan?
Well, no one ever says our name correctly, so that doesn't even matter. No.
Say it correctly for the world.
It's Reaping as Medea.
As Medea. All right.
As Modea.
Hey, I got it right when I called him.
As Medea.
Well, our co-host for the evening, Birdie, has done some research on you and has a couple questions that she needs to ask you that she's been dying to ask all night. Uh-oh is right.
What kind of dirt have you dug up? No.
Well, nothing. Anything you can find on your Facebook page, because I couldn't see too much that was already written up on you, and I think I need to help remedy that. But one of the things that I was actually looking into is part of your genre is your progressive and technical deathcore. So I was wondering, how does the progressive and technical work out? Like, it works out well.
The whole genre thing, and I'm sure you guys know, it's just kind of goofy. That's just what people started calling us. Like, so we just
went with it.
I guess that term just kind of got thrown on there because it's kind of one of those things when you have any kind of breakdown in your band. It's like, oh, okay, well, you got to be a deathcore band, but if you're called a deathcore band, it's, that's a bad thing now, in the last couple of years or whatever. And
I have never said that.
Well, it's just with the elitist kind of,
metalhead sons of guns.
Yeah. So I don't know. Our music's a bit more aggressive, I think, for like some of the genres that we kind of fall into, because it's just faster. So I don't know. That's why I always just kind of tell people, yeah, it's metal, and you can kind of dictate what you think. Like I said, that term came from people calling us that.
And there are so many genres of metal, it's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, no, I would never be some kind of pompous asshole and be like, yeah, we're progressive technical deathcore. Like, no, that's
you see my joke now. You see, yeah.
It was just a term that for some reason more than one person kept referring to us as. So.
Well, I do like your influences that you also listed on Facebook. It's Despised Icon, and you got The Faceless, Cannibal Corpse, Tony Danza, and Kesha, to name a few.
Kesha?
Yeah.
I love Kesha.
Wait,
I love
Tony
how
Danza or Tony Danza?
I totally hear that
extravaganza?
pop dance groove you guys got going on.
Yeah, that's why we get along so well. You get us.
Now, I do want to get a little bit more into your history now. I see that you've toured with some bigger name bands, too, like Veil of Maya, After the Burial, to name, like, two, I guess. So...
Toured and or played
more.
show open
Yes.
for, supporting acts.
Now, do you have any points of, just amazement when you were on tour with them, or even if you just played a show with them? With these bigger name bands? And who was it?
Like I said, it's kind of the same thing where, like, fortunately, like, Veil, like, we toured, we did some stuff with them, but After the Burial, we're from the same city, and we played a lot of local shows together, and we've all, like, me and a couple of those guys grew up together. Same with, like, the Veil guys. Like, we've all, like, us, Veil, After the Burial, Born of Osiris, from the previous band that I was in, like, we've all known each other for a really long time. So I guess just being able to, like, when I see the Veil guys or when we played shows with them and have played shows with them, it's just cool to be able to hang out with your friends that you don't get to see as often.
Yeah.
So that's always a big bonus for me, having so many friends that are in bands and stuff, and maybe you only get to see them once or twice a year unless you're playing shows with them. That's always a really cool thing.
Well, speaking of friends and bands, we actually had an old buddy of yours on a little earlier. His name was
McHale?
Hmm?
Andrew McHale?
Yeah.
Yeah, we were just on with him like 20
He
minutes.
was the interview before you.
Yes.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Small
yeah.
fucking world, man.
It is.
Yeah,
It
see,
is.
there you go.
Now,
Yeah.
you got any dirt on Andrew since he can't talk to us anymore? Since we hung up the phone with him?
He wants to know if you're going to drum for Serpent still.
Yeah.
He kept asking. We told him we didn't know. We put it out there, but you're busy.
Yeah.
No, he's like, come on, twist his arm a little bit.
Rough him up if you have to.
He's sick. He can't fight back.
I wish if I had all the time in the world, there's so many things I'd love to do.
Is Serpents one of them?
No, I mean, yeah, like we've talked before, and he makes great music and stuff, and that's the thing is like, I'd love to be able to work with like him and like a ton of other people that have asked for my help, and I have slowly, like right now I'm pretty dang busy with everything, and it's, obviously anyone in a band, even if you're touring all the time, you're working. I just got out of work, and I think this is the first day I've felt even a smidge better, and I'm getting ready to walk into practice.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Well, we won't keep you for too much longer. Just a couple.
Oh no, it's fine. No.
You guys have some badass T-shirts, which I just got Luco.
Where can I get those? Because she didn't buy one for me.
Danzig take.
Oh yeah,
Danzig.
I popped the sleeve off that bad boy. I popped the
Only
sleeve
way
off
to
that
have
one.
a reaping shirt.
Oh yeah.
So did those sell out? You only made how many of those?
There was just 25 of those that were
I have one of 25 sweet
Yep.
shirts.
Nice.
Sans
made. Couldn't
sleeves.
make any more before someone like him, he probably,
Come after you.
Would be like, come
yeah,
on,
you
kids.
never know.
No, but you guys definitely have awesome shirt designs every time you come in. Together we own four of the ones that you put out. I had the long sleeve
The
one.
long
from your
one with the
first
screaming
one.
angel.
Yeah,
That one's
fucking
sweet.
awesome.
Nice. Yeah, we try to keep as much our merch as flourishing as we
The
possibly
only
can.
ones we don't approve of are the Minnesota Wild ones. But hey,
Yeah.
man, hey.
Yeah,
Come on,
yeah,
man.
we
Come on.
yeah.
What just happened the other night? You guys choked.
Hey, man, they're having a Chicago
yeah.
Bears issue. Hey,
Kind
we're
of been
feeling
our thing, I think, this season. Yeah.
we're feeling it with the Chicago Bears. You guys are feeling it with the Wild.
Though
We
next
understand.
year, seriously, like in fall, if we work on it, if you guys aren't busy, we drive up to Minnesota. I want to check out your guys' stadium, and we're gonna rock our Hawks jerseys, and you guys should come with. And we should all get seats together. And
Absolutely.
And
I'll
they
yell
also
in your
want to get
face.
shanked for wearing the Hawks
Yeah.
jerseys.
that wouldn't happen.
Absolutely.
But let us know what your fall schedule looks like, and we'll make our way up there. I
We'll
want to
get
go to
some
Minnesota.
hockey,
Yeah, that's
Absolutely.
that's
we'll,
one of
we'll schedule it around a reaping show as well.
Hell fucking yes. Yeah, that would be the perfect weekend. Seeing
Yep.
a hockey game and going to one of your local shows. That'd be fucking sick.
Absolutely.
All right, well, you keep me posted, and I'll send you the money, and
Yeah,
we'll
we
make
st-
it a big hoorah.
nobody told me where to buy the merch at.
yeah.
though.
So
Yeah,
where,
where's
where
your
can
merch, Dan?
where can everyone find
yeah.
everything Reaping Asmodee, including
And
merch
there's a lot of
music
stuff that
and
you guys
all that
have
good
too.
stuff?
I'd love it.
It's just reapingasmodee@merch.com.
Ah.
Yeah, I mean, you have your own website though. That's
That's
awesome,
easy.
and all the links are on your Facebook page. And
It
do you
seems
still
so simple now.
do you still have physical copies of the CD available?
Yep. Yeah, you can
Yeah.
get those through the reapingasmodee@merch.com as well.
Do you also have them in digital copies?
Yep.
All
You can get
right.
that. That's on pretty much
All the bases everywhere.
every single site you can imagine. Yeah. that's-
Everywhere. Hey, I do have one more question. Why didn't you respond to my Facebook message? I'm a little upset.
When was that?
I did it earlier this afternoon. I want to introduce
He's been at
myself.
work.
Working.
I've been grinding at work.
This poor man.
Yeah,
Sick.
geez.
That's
Yeah.
fine. I'll let it slide.
Just like Andrew was saying, it's
Grinding
like
away at work.
Andrew before you were saying, it's like, if you can't respond back to someone really quickly with a Facebook message,
Asshole!
they get all pissed off at you. That's what Birdie's doing over here. Birdie,
Fine.
you
I don't know what
fuck.
you're talking about. It's all good. I don't care.
I'll respond now.
Just be like, hey, how's it going? I'm on the phone with you.
It's not like my phone's open right now waiting for you to respond or anything.
Her phone's open.
It's not.
Waiting
No.
for.
Lying.
You guys do have a couple shows coming up, though, out in your area, correct?
We actually yesterday just announced our next local show, which is on March 7th.
Okay, and do you know all the details of that right now off the top of your head?
Yep, yeah, it's at a place called the Triple Rock Social Club, and it's March 7th. It's a Saturday night. It's with a couple other bands, By the Thousands, from Concept to Chronicle, and The Massacre.
Nice.
It's going to be a pretty awesome show because the Triple Rock is a favorite of pretty much anyone around the cities, so we haven't played there in quite a while, and it's a really awesome club.
Nice. Well, definitely keep us posted on your upcoming tours when you're able to tell me more about them. And
you will know that hopefully, I think by the end of this week, because like I said, we leave. I can say I know we leave March 26th.
Okay. Awesome.
So
Well, definitely let us know.
You will see us at the end of March.
Okay. Awesome.
As long as it's
not Tuesdays.
For like 3
Yeah.
or 4 weeks.
Yeah, as long as it's not a Tuesday, then we'll definitely try to make it out. Luco is actually in a band now, so if he's not playing a show, we'll definitely love to come out and see you guys.
Yeah, like we were saying during when we were playing the song, there's a few touring bands that we always, always
If
make
we're not
it a
doing
point
anything,
to try and
that's
get
what we
out
have
to the
to go
shows
to.
when you guys are in town because, it's like we don't see you guys as another band. We see you guys as friends, man. Fucking rocking out.
The first show that we ever sponsored, you guys were on it. We're like, this is awesome. They're from Minnesota.
And you guys killed it.
And that's the thing that's really cool because, there's a handful of people and places that stick out, from when we started out, almost like 5 years ago. And, you guys have seen us since like the beginning.
Yeah.
And it's awesome that
been 5 years.
You're
Holy
still
shit.
coming out. We're still friends, and you still care about what we're doing.
Absolutely. Well, I know that the guys are probably waiting for their drummer to, so they can
wait.
follow along.
Yeah, they can wait.
But do you want us to play Bodies and Barrels? I know this song is sick, and they want to watch the music video again. I do too. So, do you mind? Can we play that one?
I would love for you to play that.
Okay.
Perfect.
Awesome. We'll tell the other guys we say hi. We'll definitely be in touch. We'll share your post when you announce the tour, and we'll keep an eye out for a Illinois date for us to make it out to. I mean, Milwaukee's not too far
Not too
either.
far.
So if we can't make Illinois, we'll try to make Milwaukee. If that's a date we can do too.
You'll be happy when you can see the dates and stuff.
Don't do this to me right now, Dan. Don't do this. I'm so excited right now. I might wet my pants.
Oh my goodness.
Perfect. That's what we're going for.
All right. Well, you have a great night. Feel better. Tell
Bye,
everyone
Dan.
you say hi. Thank you so much.
Easy, guys.
All right. Well, here is Bodies and Barrels. Check out their music video. It is awesome. It's off of YouTube, and it's on the album Poison the Earth, which came out last August, and I'm still blown away by this. So here you go.
Well, he's gonna play it on the.
Oh well,
He's
okay.
gonna play the
He's
YouTube
gonna
so
play.
we can watch.
We're
it
gonna
live.
watch the music video
Figure
for
it
you.
out.
For you at home, you can do that too. I had it queued on my iPad. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Jesus
Oh.
Christ.
Let's
Let's just
fucking
get
do
angry
it.
at me.
Let's do it. Do it. Do it.
What do you guys wanna do? What's
do
up?
it.
Yeah,
Your
just
mic's
play.
not on,
Just
Goof.
Your
play
mic's
it.
not
yeah.
on. Just play.
You goof.
Hit the big red button, not the record.
Just push play. Just push play. I don't know the rest of the lyrics.
Yeah. What's up, guys? I'm Anthony.
I'm Cody.
I'm Tom. And we're from Orinoco. Thanks for listening
to the Metal Experience.
Can I get you to do that again, but just, like, you know, better?
To the Metal Experience!
That was great.
That's it. That's it.
Love it.
That's it.
Love it.
We're back. Woo, woo, woo. That was fucking awesome. We watched the music video. You can too. It's called Bodies and Barrels. It's by our dear friends in Reaping, Asmodea, and they are
Asmodea.
Asmodea. Whatever. Same.
You're all about it. You got to get their name right.
Ah!
That what's funny is we always say
they're
that.
from Minnesota.
Hey, you want to go
amazing.
see Reaping Asmodea? Yeah, you mean Reaping Asmodea?
I don't know. It's just the way that
Hey,
I
man,
first saw it.
whatever.
That's how
It's fucking-
whatever.
No, I got to go check
metal.
out Iron Maiden that day.
It's on
Iron.
their CD, Poison the Earth. It's awesome. So check them out. Facebook and YouTube, all that stuff. And their website, which is linked on their Facebook as well. And you can
their
find
YouTube.
all of that
all
stuff.
their YouTube goodness.
Thank you, Dan, again, for your interview. And then Andrew, once again, from Serpents and Defiler. We had a great time
And
talking to
Forsworn.
both of you. Actually, yeah, Forsworn too. So we have a couple
I'm going to go
segments-
home and I'm going to bust that CD out too.
Couple
I think
segments
it's like a
before
track.
we end
Shower
the
time.
night, starting with That Guy Bill. What you got for us?
Hi, Bill.
I'm totally going to find that CD.
And now for a random moment with that guy, Bill.
Don't understand what you said, but I'm going to sit down.
Only on the Metal Experience.
I am punching your gun!
I've seen you guys way back when. Woo! Woo! Sorry.
You guys can hear me, right?
Yeah,
Yes,
we can
Okay.
hear you.
Sorry, a little
Hi.
tired.
I can hear you now.
Thank you. Thank you
Good.
for doing such a great job
A little
tonight.
tired.
Yeah, you're doing a wonderful job.
Long day.
Wonderful
Yes.
job today.
Dave might come back next week and we might be, you've been replaced by Bill. You can sit next to him now.
Yeah, Dave can sit next to you.
Oh, well,
can
Dave will
run
have
the
to do it by
board.
himself because I'll probably be in Chicago Heights when this is going on.
Brutal.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're training next Tuesday?
I go Monday immediately.
Well, the show is
Training?
on Tuesday.
Yeah, and it's a week long.
Oh.
Week-long show.
Wait, so you don't go home every day?
Depends on how far I am. They might put me up in a hotel room. And considering it's pretty
Well,
far.
we
You a production
lose
guy?
Dave this week. We'll lose Bill next week.
Sorry, guys, but I do have some pretty interesting news.
All right.
I believe it's starting in March,
Uh-huh.
but airlines will now allow musicians to carry their instruments through carry-on. They'll be able to
Nice.
put them in the storage cabinets up. Now, there
Got
are
my whole
limitations.
drum set.
Well, obviously,
I got my
yeah.
mixed feelings about this
I
one.
was like, there are limitations. You can't have like a cello up there.
Can
or
it be
whole
like
drum-
a ukulele or violin? Like
Ukulele,
it's
something
probably
small?
going to be like a flute.
Something that
Small.
won't take up a lot of
Like a
room.
violin, yeah.
Because
as
obviously
long
you
as
still
it can
Harmonica.
fit, if it can fit in the overhead storage, then
What do
you're
you
good.
mean I can't bring my harmonica on?
Well, that's awesome. That's great news for
For all
touring
you
bands.
uke players like myself,
Yeah, it popped into my head as Dan was talking about going to Europe. It's like, hey, take your instruments.
bring your ukulele. Bring a bongo. You got one bongo.
Well, I heard it really got pushed after someone had a lute broken. And those
what?
aren't cheap. A lute.
I don't know what that is.
Think of
It's a
think of like
classical
a really
instrument.
old stringed instrument, like before,
Oh,
like before acoustic
like a
guitar.
mandolin type of
Yeah,
thing.
Yeah,
they're
kinda
like
like that.
$30K, something
Whoa.
like that.
Yeah,
Whoa. And someone fucking broke it?
it got broke in the checked bag area.
Brutal, 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 brutal.
Did he have insurance?
I hope to God they did.
I'd be pissed.
Well, rock and roll.
Yeah.
Well, there you go for all you musicians. Just, you know
some
what?
good news.
Listen, I don't need anything except, my uke. Can you imagine going on somewhere and just bringing your fucking little ukulele? It's like, yeah, I got everything on my carry-on ukulele. Rocking. Well, I think it's about that time.
It's about that time.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, man, look what I found. Only on the Metal Experience.
Woo! We've had some fucking badass music. We've had some badass guests on today. And we're going to continue it. Today, we got all the way from Sarasota, Florida, the band, Death Requisite, with the song Prophets of Doom. Let's do it.
Prophets
That was my favorite song.
What's up?
Just stop playing.
Oh, the song was the best song I ever
Well, that was.
heard.
What was that like?
That was
Bill,
the
your
best.
mic's not on.
Your mic not on either. Everything gone.
I don't know what happened. It just stopped playing. It went like 36 seconds and then it just stopped.
Oh,
You want to give that another shot?
Let's do it one more time.
Sure.
All right, let me load up the page.
Watch it plays like 36 seconds. And it's like, that's all we wrote. That's our song.
We were in the middle of talking some massive shit.
Let's do it. So once again, we got Death Requisite.
Hey, this is Rosie.
And I'm Brian from False Hope Fades.
And you're listening to The Metal Experience.
Are you a metalhead that is bored with your current music collection? Looking for a new radio show and podcast to smoke up and jam to? Well, I've got just a thing for ya. Instead of packing your bong, smoking up, and wanking it on Thursday nights, tune into AsgardRadio.com from 7 to 10 p.m. for the Doc Metal Show with The Real Munson. You'll learn important things like how to properly burn off those nasty cock shingles with a car cigarette lighter. Find out where the hottest lot lizards hang out in Kankakee, and you'll be exposed to new and brutally amazing bands in the process. That's Thursday nights on AsgardRadio.com from 7 to 10 p.m. every friggin' week. But wait, there's more! The Doc Metal Show with The Real Munson also releases a brand spanking new podcast every week on SoundCloud. Just search The Doc Metal Show for the best in national and local Chicago metal bands and toilet humor commentary. Facebook.com/DocMetal665. DocMetal665 on Instagram. Stay brutal.
All right. Woo! Well, thank you, Doc Metal, for your commercial.
And we just heard Death Requisite from Sarasota, Florida, with the song 2 times Prophets of Doom. Check them out.
Just the first
Give
35
them a
seconds.
like. The first time was a little snippet.
So it was like 70 seconds.
Get a taste, and then the next time we're like, all right, here
We'll
you
really
go.
play it this time.
Okay, I did have
Or
to
it
mention
was
something
Facebook
though.
fucking up.
Yeah,
I mean,
Facebook.
I have to mention something though because it's related today. So Andrew, who we had on earlier, actually produced the EP for one of the bands we just heard on commercial, False Hope Fades.
Nice.
So it really is a small freaking world out there.
Absolutely.
False
They're
Hope
awesome.
Fades is the shit.
Yeah, and what's funny is they're friends with Anti-Mortem.
Yes, yes, and
we interviewed them last time when you were on here. So just a couple quick announcements before we wrap up the week. Next week, Hemi is going to be on with us.
Nice.
Fucking awesome. Can't wait. They just
I
released
fucking
a
love
new...
when Hemi comes on.
I do too. They just released a new CD, so we'll definitely be talking
Nice.
to them
That's
about
gonna
that.
be sweet.
Also, like I was saying before we went into our interviews tonight, Central Disorders in need of a bass player from the Chicago area, and Miles from Exile, also from Chicago, looking for somebody to draw a new logo. So if you know somebody that's artistic that wants to design a logo for them, definitely hit them up.
Here. Eddie Danger.
Eddie Danger.
Hit up Eddie Danger,
There
boys.
you go. Also, we are
I like his name.
very proud to announce as of today, we are now partnered with Audio Graffiti in the UK. They're going to be replaying our show.
That's awesome. As of
11
today.
PM, 11 p.m. on Wednesday nights overseas. So they only have the ability to play overseas. They don't have license to air in the States, but I mean, it's online radio. So
Right.
check us out 11 p.m. in the UK. They'll be playing our show.
That's pretty sweet. And we've actually featured some bands from the UK
Yeah,
on.
there'll be a lot. So
the Unsigned
they're all
Band Pick of
about
the Day.
promoting unsigned.
That's great. So they can
bands
get
too.
all our fuck ups on air
Yeah.
in the UK too.
Yay! I wonder if they ever say we talk funny.
I mean, probably just because we're American and there's so many different
We're so
accents in the
lazy
States.
with
Oi, those Americans talk kind of
Did you
weird,
hear-
yeah?
Did you hear?
Whoa, guys, let's.
Did you
what's
catch
going on
Dan?
here?
Dan has a little bit of an accent up in Minnesota.
You said
Yeah,
you
no.
said the word hockey really funny when you were on
I
the phone with
did,
him.
but there was a few words that he was saying too that I was listening.
was
I was like,
dragging
"There's
on
a
those
Midwest,
O's, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
there's some
I
accent
didn't
going
really
on
notice.
out there." And then also, I forgot to announce last week, and I should start doing this.
What?
We have booked 2 shows for February, the Winter Metal Fest. Winter Metal Fest. Day 1 is 21 and up. These are both at Bobby
one.
McGee's. Day 1 is going to be Everything Must Die.
Nice.
Air Raid.
Fuck yeah.
Armored Assault. Miles from Exile. Deity Disfigured.
Nice.
And Impale.
You know what? We should hit up what's his nuts to make more
Nuts.
some muffins.
Flyers?
Muffins.
Yes, I will tell Matt to
I
bring
tried
muffins.
some.
What did you say?
I said
and then-
flyers.
Oh. Pancakes.
On Saturday, it's our all ages show, and we have
No.
Alethea
Also
Snow
at
Burial,
Bobby McGee's.
which is formerly Oxblood. They just changed their name as of this year. Then we have Central Disorder, Hatestorm Annihilation, Ornaco, and Scars of Armageddon.
And you know what? I'm gonna wear my fucking Oxblood T-shirt. Just to give them shit.
Here, okay. At the door,
Blood.
they're $10.
Place the fucking ox blood. Sorry. Go.
They're $10 at the door, but in advance from us and the bands, they are $8.
Ooh.
And then you can buy both tickets if you want to come out to both days, $15 as opposed to paying $20
or
so,
$16.
Yeah, absolutely.
Deals.
No, it's $15 for both days.
Wow.
If you wanted to do it.
Not 16.
No.
Get your shit straight, man.
Yeah, that's what I said. Not 16.
There you go.
Not 16. It's 15.
So it's even more of a deal.
And also on Saturday with the All Ages show, if you're 21 and up after 10 o'clock, there is metal karaoke, and it's $100 for the grand prize. So definitely check that out.
How are they going to be doing metal karaoke when we're playing actual metal music?
After the
live?
show.
Oh, the show ends at 10?
Because it's all ages.
All ages show.
Oh, the
It
all
has to
ages
end.
show.
So afterwards.
Does the bar open then too?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah. Well,
Even
I mean,
though
the
it's
bar
all
should
ages,
be
the
open,
bar
but
is
you
still
get
open.
wristbanded if
So
you're...
you'll get
Oh,
drunk,
I see,
suck
I
at
see.
karaoke,
So, I mean,
and
we'll-
nobody will be able to tell.
We'll have a booth set up with all the stuff that we're finally going to get rid of.
We're gonna
pass out some awesome
got
stuff
some
we've collected.
Stickers, CDs, shirts, pins, anything metal.
And then, of course, we
will
have
give it
the
to you.
Chicago Metal Alliance helping us to present this.
CMA.
And then Pitch Black Productions did our flyers. They're
Tim.
fucking awesome. So all the bands have those right now. And then the Rick and Gibby show, the Metal Deli and Doc Metal, and the Offering Webzine are helping us sponsor.
Fuck yeah.
So we've got great lineups, 2 awesome days. February 27th is the 21st show, 21 and up, and then February 28th is the all ages show. So definitely hit us up if you want tickets. I mean, we'll give some giveaways if you wanted those too, and it'll be a great time. So like I said, next week is Hemi, and then after that, January 27th is One Steel Wound. So we've got still great month ahead of us for 2015. Thank you, Birdie, for coming back.
No problem.
We'll have you on again very soon, and we'll do it all over again.
And we also want to thank Andrew from Serpents
And
Defiler / Forsworn. And we want to thank Dan and all the guys from Reaping Asmodea. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Can't wait.
Thank you guys for calling in, and we can't wait to see more stuff
And
from both
Luco
bands.
wants to
Oh,
play
and
another-
check out Death Requisite from Sarasota, Florida. Check those motherfuckers out.
Luco's got another instrumental of Return to Flesh to play for us before he lays down his vocals on that eventually. And we have Return to Flesh stickers now that we're handing out just for
I
them.
believe what we're
I've
doing,
got stickers.
since we got the show on January 24th at Gast House, and we got the show on January 31st at Brower House, I think we have nothing in February. I think February we're going to be recording. Because all the guitar and drums are done. Like what we're hearing right now are kind of the scratch tracks that I'm just using to learn and write stuff off of. But those are actually all done.
They're later
just
going to
need-
call you pissed off.
They just need the bass tracks
Why are you
added
playing
on and
this over
vocals.
there now?
So we're going to play some Return to Flesh. This is just an instrumental track that I've been working on, and this song is called Terraform. And I am Luke O'Blaze with Morgan Danielle,
Bye.
that guy Bill,
Bye.
and Birdie Garcia.
Bye,
We'll
guys.
see you next
Bye.
week. Bye, guys.
Bye. You should make